so soon. You flies, nigga. T-Rock. We say drink. Good one way. Turn up. That's what we do, man. Good time. Yeah. Shouts out to my niggas for killing Will, man. And line. Rest in peace, man. Come on, kill that. Rest in peace. Sold in peace. Time for cease. Yeah. Kill it. It's
Yeah.
I miss you, man. All time about.
Listen. I hope everybody that's been caught up in the hurricane in the U.S. Are getting assistance, and I'm pretty sure many of you are because Biden had already released the FEMA order before the storm even arrived. In the U.S. Right. So, and it seems like, according to the reporting from the states officials, that things are going quite well, given the huge task at hand and the devastation. Yeah, so this is a norm. This is something that you could expect to happen. Um, these storms and these weather pattern changes and affects the extremities of the environment. Everyone has expected it. People have been talking about it since even before the Green New Deal. But I just wanted to let people know that actually, I looked up some data, and anybody can look this data up. And if you need some help, just ask. But although I'm an American citizen, I live in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I just wanted to let you know some of the data from here because Denmark has outlined itself to be a nation that wants to complete the outlines of the Green New Deal, right? And already, let me read you some of this data here. Let me read it here. Is it here? Let me just double check. Did I have it here? Okay. Well, I have it over here, so I can read it to you. Um, yes. Here we go. Now, oh wait, it's this one. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry about that. Oh, right. I have to scroll down a little bit of what? Well, let me just do it this way. Is that possible? Or what? Here we go. All right. So, in Denmark today, approximately 75% of the low and medium voltage power lines are buried underground, right? And you can obviously guess what that's for: small businesses, homes, all of that stuff, right? Um, Now, this includes most of the distribution grid that supplies electricity to residential areas and businesses. Uh, for high voltage power lines, transmission lines, a significant portion is also being moved underground, though it is more gradual. It is a more gradual process compared to the distribution network. The Danish government has pursued, an aggressive policy of burying power lines to enhance the reliability of the electricity supply, reduce maintenance costs, and improve landscape aesthetics. By 2020, right, about 25% of high voltage transmission lines had also been buried, with ongoing plans to increase this percentage further. Denmark aims to bury most power lines to protect them from weather related issues like storms and to support the transition to a greener and more sustainable energy grid. So that's what's going on in Denmark regarding power lines. Now, if you notice, power has been a huge issue in the states affected by the hurricane in the United States. And so I just ask you all, right? I just ask my fellow Americans, um, how much investment did Trump put into burying power lines in states that were in the already suspected path or the normal path of these hurricanes? Um, Do you think Trump could have done more? Do you think Trump was for these kind of things? Does Trump believe that the weather patterns will get more extreme? Does he believe that will impact everyday life and everyday business? Because if he doesn't, then why do it? It wouldn't make any sense, right? Why make that investment on the federal level? You know, um, if it's not that important, right? The federal government definitely is going to be behind the big important projects that keep the country running when the states simply can't do those huge projects. So again, although I'm an American citizen, I live in Copenhagen, Denmark. Um, I'm from Washington D.C., but the country that I live in early on has been a part of the Green New Deal agreement, and they've taken it very seriously. Right now, 75%, as it states, 75% of the low and medium voltage power lines are buried underground. This includes, that's the entire country. This includes most of the distribution grid and supply that supplies electricity to residential areas and businesses. For high power voltage power lines, transmission lines, a significant portion is also being moved underground, though it is a more gradual process compared to the distribution network. Right. This country has pursued an aggressive uh, process and policy of burying power lines to enhance the reliability. Now, since 2020, 25% of the high voltage transmission lines have also been buried, with ongoing plans to increase this percentage further. Denmark aims to bury most power lines to protect them from the weather related issues like storms and to support its transition to a greener and more sustainable energy grid. And Denmark was on it early because it already started implementing on a business level and on a transport level electrical vehicles, both for industry and individual usage, families and things like that. So you need power. But the thing is that when you need power, why can't you do both? Can't you transition to the at the same time? You know that those power lines above ground are no good anymore because every year you're going to have the same problem, right? So why not solve two problems at once, right? Put them underground, and when you're putting them underground this time with the help of the federal government, with a good president doing an infrastructure plan that supports that, you could also do the power so you have enough power to have new vehicles, right? New green vehicles, because most of the vehicles, whether you know it or not, they will be transitioning over. Now, I'm not saying don't collect and don't keep a stash of, one or two gas vehicles just in case the electricity goes out again. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that's very smart. But do you really need for emergency purposes? But is that wise on the day to day? On the day to day, is that wise? You know, I can also tell you this: if the United States was the leader in electric vehicles and alternative fuel, if they invested, they would be the leader in the world if they did. And the cost of energy would go down tremendously. Why? Because then you're not dependent upon one source. The government, at some time or another, must have done some aid for oil companies, right? At some time or another, they must do some kind of deals, buying oil, saving it up, stashing it, all of this stuff. Something, I don't know the particulars about that. But even if not, the government can make a significant investment for the future and for hurricanes. So, at the very least, for folks living in homes, operating businesses, business got to continue the next day. Home people got to should be able to, at least get some kind of access to their, to power things up, even if some of the properties have been destroyed and things like this. Might be a good idea for the U.S. to take the lead on this thing, you know. But that's only if they have a plan to and they can organize the um, communities around it and the government, state and federal around it, But sometimes you got to make an executive move. So I'm glad to see Biden sign that infrastructure deal. I'm sure it has a lot to do with burying power lines too. Um, I wish Trump would have done something like that, but hey, what the heck? Trump ain't the president, so let's not worry about that. On other news, y'all, other news. Let me see who's in the chat here. Yeah, Andrea, what's up? And what's the word for today? Good afternoon, VB. Definitely enjoying the content. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we had a real good discussion last night too, by the way. Thank you for that as well. Well, here you got it, folks. The celebration is this. I voted online. I got my electronic ballot a couple days ago. I just checked my email today and I just put it through. And I voted for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And the down ticket in DC this time around was for the shadow congressional seat, which is a shadow representative. It's a congressional representative. We don't get a vote on the floor, but we get to speak on the floor from DC, which we want statehood one day. But in any case, I voted on the down ticket, Elenor Holms Norton, who has been uh, advocate for statehood for many, many, many years, and she's been doing a wonderful job. She's a Democratic rep, but I'm not opposed to voting for a Republican if their values are in check uh, with reality, and if they are real Americans, like Americans that acknowledge, you know, um, hurricanes, weather patterns, um, uh, acknowledge poverty exists, acknowledge the middle class exists and are the base of the society, acknowledge that some people had not been treated right in the history of the country, and that some form of reparation and official acknowledgement can be done. It's better to do a little than nothing at all than to be acting like it don't exist and it had no impact on nobody and there's no legacy of it in any way, shape, or form that can be dealt with by the government and by the citizens. If there was some Republicans like that, I'd do it. If Abraham Lincoln was alive today, I'd vote for Abraham Lincoln, is what I'm saying, this one time. But there aren't any. There's no more Abraham Lincolns in the Republican Party. There's no more ideals about these big things that shape the future of nations. And if you didn't have a president like Abraham Lincoln, you probably wouldn't have the United States of America. It probably wouldn't have succeeded. But again, that's when the values of the Republicans were totally different, when they were clearly anti-slavery and about things that brought the union together, everybody together, acknowledging grievances. Can you imagine that Confederates had their grievances acknowledged? Damn, that's amazing. And a Republican did that? A Republican did that. A Republican the Confederates fought against. Today, the Confederates don't fight against the Republicans. They are the Republicans. They want to turn shit back. You know what I'm saying? They got people like Mark Robinson talking about, hey, y'all, African Americans should be the ones paying reparations. It's you, if anybody. That's the black man, Mark Robinson, running for governor down there in North Carolina. He was, what do you call it, endorsed by Trump many, many, many times over. Trump uh, Trump damn near licked his butt. I mean, what more could Trump have done for the man who said those nasty things, But in any case, let me leave it clean today. Let me leave it clean today. Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, Elenor Holmes Norton, you got my vote. Donald Trump, to hell with you. I hope the next this fall we get to see your ass behind bars. I hope I hope you are penalized to the harshest degree economically. I hope everybody associated with you is investigated with a fine, like, every little ounce of your life. I hope has the FBI all up in it forever. and anybody associated with you, including your kids, your wife, anybody who co-signed your bullshit, which is all of them. I hope any funds that were gained while he was president by anyone associated with him, I hope they lose it all. They deserve it. And the message needs to be sent out. If we want to have a country in the future, the message in terms of the punishment of these people have to be very, very clear, because we can't have it both ways. Either we all going to act like that, or nobody is going to act like that. And right now, somebody and a bunch of people said they going to act like that, while the rest of us are doing what I just did. Being civil, voting, acting and behaving like we live in a democracy, and having some compassion for our situation and other Americans, even if they're not exactly like us. You see what I mean? Something Trump and his supporters don't know about. So let me read this comment from. Let me take my glasses off for a second. Sorry about that. It's the screen I'm reading. Enjoyed it live this morning, and definitely we'll have more stories and questions. Yeah, thank you. Hey, guess what? I'm off for 3 days. I got one more work night tonight, and then I'm off for 3 days, and I'm just gonna enjoy that time. Yeah, but I'll be online at some different times. I don't know what the times is, but I'll be back. But I appreciate it. That was a really good group we had last night with Break Room 411. So yeah, so big up to Break Room and everybody over there. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out, y'all. Peace. And go vote. And by the way, if you don't know where to vote, where to get your ballot from online, I put the link in the description. So check it out and do it. Get on it. You still got time to register to vote. If you haven't, you got till about the middle of the month. I don't know if it's the 14th, the 15th, or the 12th. You need to check that out. But do it. Don't let anybody stop. Is anybody stopping you from paying taxes? I'm sure Donald Trump wants you to pay those taxes. Well, if you're paying taxes, vote. Peace.
She comes from the cool side.